Hey guys, Steven here back with another video, and today I'm going to show you how you can start selling on Etsy. I'm going to go through what Etsy actually is, the pros and cons of selling on Etsy, the fee structure, all that sort of stuff in this video. If you want to actually skip to the part where I actually set up an Etsy store from scratch, make sure to check the timestamps below for that. This is a super long video and it took me a lot of time to make, so if you guys can drop a like below, that would mean a lot. And yeah, with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So on our agenda today, we're going to be talking about what Etsy is. You probably already know. What can you sell on Etsy, the pros and cons of selling on Etsy, the Etsy fee structure, which is actually very important. If you are thinking about selling on Etsy, you can ask any Etsy seller. Fees are going to be a big part of your business. There are a lot of fees that people don't know actually sort of take out of your profits. I'll get into that. Setting up your Etsy store. So we're going to go off of this PowerPoint later in this video, and we're going to actually set up an Etsy store, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. Useful Etsy integrations. So if you are maybe an artist or you are selling like clothing, there are certain integrations that are actually going to make the process of you selling stuff much easier and save you a lot of time. Even if you don't sell those things, there's different integrations that Etsy has that you can actually sort of use. There's also different sales tactics that I've seen successful Etsy users use, as well as free marketing that you can do through services that I'll get into. So onto what is Etsy. So when you think about online e-commerce platforms, think about eBay, think about Depop, Poshmark. All these different platforms have a different target market. They all have like a specialty product that is being sold on there. So for example, Craigslist is just random stuff in people's houses. Think about eBay, a lot of times it's like electronics, maybe like used goods. When you think about Depop and Poshmark, a lot of times it's clothes. With Etsy, it's a lot of unique handmade stuff. You won't see a lot of like generic stuff, no name stuff that you may be able to find on something like Amazon. A lot of people on Etsy who are selling are small businesses similar to you and I. And so it's actually a perfect place for a beginner to start selling because of that fact. People who are going on Etsy are looking for a specific product and they are a specific customer. And a lot of times they probably have more money to spend or are willing to spend more money on brands that they don't know about. Otherwise, they would just go to Amazon. Just because of the unique fact that Etsy is built around like this specific community that likes gifting. So if you sell anything that can be deemed a gift, maybe you are a photographer and you sell photo prints, or you're an artist and you sell art, or you can make chairs, or you can sew something. Those things are really good things to sell on Etsy. So those are some products that you may want to look into. Mass-produced stuff doesn't really do well. It might even be against the terms of service. I don't believe you can drop ship on Etsy either. So in that sense, Etsy is probably not the best bet if you don't actually make your product. Over the past year, especially due to the pandemic, I've seen a lot more people start selling on Etsy just because of the ease of entry. And that's actually one of the pros of Etsy is the low barrier to entry. It's free. A lot of small businesses can start listing their items and getting exposure. Most e-commerce platforms like Shopify, Squarespace, BigCommerce, their baseline plan, like their cheapest plan, starts at like at least $20 US. And for a lot of people who sort of just want to test their product, see if it sells first, before really investing a lot of money in. Maybe they don't have a lot of money. Maybe you're just an independent artist and you're trying to see if your product even will sell. It doesn't make sense to just spend $30 on a Shopify plan, or it doesn't make sense to kind of commit yourself to that. So a lot of times Etsy and services very similar like eBay are probably the best bet because it's free. All you really have to pay for is the listing fee, which is like 20 cents. So that's really the benefit. So now we're gonna get into fees. We mentioned the listing fee. When it comes to Etsy, because they don't charge a upfront monthly recurring cost like a plan, they have to make their money some way. And the way they make it is through these 4 types of fees. They actually do have a service called Etsy Plus, but it's not really popular. These are the 4 things that actually get them probably the most money. So the first thing is the listing fee. So when you actually want to post your product, you're going to have to pay 20 cents. If you guys actually sign up through my referral link in the description and pinned comment, you can actually get 40 free listings, which is equivalent to, I believe, $8. and a listing automatically expires after 4 months, whether you actually make profit or not, or get an order. Also, if you, let's just say, have like 5 custom made chairs and they sell out and you have auto renew on, it'll automatically renew that listing, and that's another 20 cents. So that's the fee of getting your product up, which is a lot cheaper than, you know, Shopify plans or Squarespace plans where you have to pay like $20 to $40 to $50 monthly. This is 20 cents every 4 months, which is a lot better. But this is where it really takes a hit. There's processing fee, transaction fees, and offsite ad fees. When it comes to processing fees, this is actually quite normal. Processing fees, just think about like credit cards. When you oftentimes when you pay with a credit card in some retailers, they actually charge you extra just because of the processing fee. Shopify also has processing fee because they actually have their own payment processor service called Shopify Payments. Etsy has their own called Etsy Payments. Think about PayPal, think about Stripe. All these payment processors take a fee. That's quite normal. So if you're using Etsy Payments, which you probably are, to accept payments, you're gonna have to pay 3% plus 25% of the total listing price. And that includes any fees like shipping, tax, all that sort of stuff. And on top of the listing fee and processing fee, you're gonna take another 5% off the total listing price. And that's another additional fee that Etsy charges. And this is basically just for being on Etsy. So you wanna make sure that you take into account these fees before you actually do anything. So if you have very low margins ahead of time, you want to make sure that you plan it out so that your product is actually making money. And if you actually go to your Etsy dashboard, when you make a sale, you'll actually see these be deducted from your payments. And lastly, we have offsite ad fees. And basically offsite ad fees are when Etsy actually promotes your listings on your behalf at no extra cost to you. And if someone, you know, clicks on it and buys it, they actually take 15% of the profit. And I have no problem with this because they're actually advertising it for you. You don't have to do anything and you wouldn't have that sale otherwise. So that's a benefit of Etsy. It does free promo for you sometimes. So that's actually the next pro, free traffic. A lot of times when you start a new website, you're gonna have to promote it yourself. You're gonna have to make Instagram accounts, TikTok accounts to promote it. Whereas if you were to post it on Etsy, different marketplaces like Redbubble, eBay, there's already traffic there. There are already buyers there, right? It's similar to uploading a video on your own website as opposed to YouTube. People are already on YouTube, so they might come across your video by accident or if they search something up. So that's the benefit. There are probably a lot more people on Etsy and on YouTube than on your own website. So Etsy actually may even save you money in the long run because a lot of people do run paid ads. So if you are a person who is considering running paid ads on their own website, you might actually be better off just, you know, posting some listings on Etsy because they do Etsy offsite ads, as well as there's a search engine. But when it comes to you know, doing your own website on like Shopify, you actually have to pay for promo, or you have to put a lot of hours in to market your own products. And what is actually happening is a lot of new Etsy sellers are coming on the platform, building their brands on Etsy, which brings in a lot of different buyers, right? So these people are building like Instagram pages, Facebook pages, TikTok pages, and they're selling their product on Etsy because it's an easy way to sort of sell their product. And then their followers are gonna go on Etsy and they're gonna also start shopping on Etsy. And so that's what actually is beneficial with Etsy. So the more sellers there are, the more buyers there are actually as well. So you can see here in 2021, year over year, so from 2020 to 2021, they saw a 113% increase in Etsy buyers who never shopped on Etsy or haven't shopped in the past 12 months. So you can see more and more people are starting to buy on Etsy, and the more people who sell on Etsy, the better as well. And obviously there's also the active buyers who treat Etsy as like their main sort of like shopping platform. So instead of going like a shopping mall or another like online e-commerce platform, they're just going to Etsy to browse, to just have fun shopping, similar to how people shop on basically any website, except Etsy actually has variety. So let's just say someone is an avid clothing shopper. They like shopping at certain clothing brands. Instead of looking at like Forever 21 all the time, but instead they could go to like Etsy where there's clothing as well, but there's also other products that they can shop for, right? So that might be an incentive for like a buyer to go to Etsy. The third benefit is website management and setup. With Etsy, you don't really have to do anything in terms of like design. Everyone's website is basically the same. So if you look at your storefront, there's maybe a banner, a profile picture, a little about section. So that's not really a concern of yours. All you really have to care about is how well your product is doing and constantly improving your product. When it comes to like fulfillment, Etsy sort of helps with that. When it comes to design, Etsy helps with that. When it comes to analytics, Etsy's there for you. When it comes to marketing as well, Etsy's there for you. So all you have to do is really manage your product. And so that's the benefit of having Etsy do it for you. So think about having like a manager who takes a fee from you. If you're a musician and you have a manager, all you have to do is really worry about your craft. You don't have to worry about business operations. Your manager is going to take a cut for a reason. So in a sense, you're giving up a certain amount of your profit, a percentage, in order to have that peace of mind, right? So they give you certain analytics that even Shopify and Squarespace don't give you. And I think it's really good as a sales tactic as well. So you can see who's favoriting your products. You can see how many people have your product in their cart, and you can see what search terms are leading to more traffic and sales, which I'll actually get into that later in this video. But right here, you can see on the bottom right, these are people favoriting my listing. So I actually can get a good indicator of what products are doing well in terms of like interest. Let's just say I see a lot of people who are liking a certain product and maybe it's not getting a lot of sales. I can figure out why. Maybe I can tweak the price. Maybe people like the product, but the price is too high. Or maybe I am getting sales from it and maybe I'm gonna do a different iteration of that bestseller or that highly favorited listing, right? And another thing you can do is you can actually click on people's profiles. A lot of people actually sign up for Etsy, have an account, and you can actually view their favorites. So what this actually helps with is you can see your competitors and you can see similar products that you can possibly create. So that's a benefit when it comes to analytical side. You can actually see some things that maybe being on Shopify wouldn't allow you to do. In the top left, you can see it's low in stock. You can see it says selling fast, only 3 left, and over 20 people have it in their baskets. So this is a sales tactic. It most definitely works. I see a lot of drop shippers do very similar things. But the thing with having reviews as well as these different indicators on your listing is people know that you can't alter this. You can't make Etsy say it's selling fast. So when someone sees that there's like 20 people with your product in their basket, they know that this is not fake. They can almost insure it just because Etsy is sort of ensuring to you as the buyer that this is correct information, right? And also there's the benefit of having reviews. So if you have like 50 reviews, you can actually ensure that these are real people. Whereas if you had your own website and you had customer reviews, there's no real way to determine if those reviews are real. So in this case, being on Etsy actually provides some sort of legitimacy. And the last pro is the future of Etsy. So Etsy is actually a stock I'm invested in, right? So I am constantly following the news. Because Etsy is a public company, they actually have to appeal to shareholders. And so they have to innovate because they are a growth company. So they just acquired Depop, which is another really popular marketplace among Gen Z. When they are doing these acquisitions, this actually helps Etsy because they gain more useful data on how they can improve their products, what is trending. And the more money they're making, the more they can put back into their business. So this could possibly benefit data that will help Etsy ads. So their advertising service, maybe possible different integrations they can do and new features. So this was in their investor relations PowerPoint. So you can see they're investing in new products and experiences to drive frequency. So these are just new things that they've sort of added to the platform. But you can expect more and more of these sort of coming in the future, which is the benefit of selling on Etsy and maybe even Shopify. Those companies are really innovative, and the better that the sellers do, the better they do. Because now onto the cons, there's only like 3 real cons. The first one is lack of pricing power. When you are on a marketplace, you're competing with millions of people. Even though you do get exposure, to stand out, it's very hard. So you do have to price competitively. Usually lower prices are going to get more sales at the end of the day. So the lack of pricing power is tough. When you have your own website and you build your own brand, you can afford to price something higher just because there's no comparable product to it. When you go on Etsy, you see a bunch of different products that are very similar to yours and maybe at a lower cost. So that can really hinder the performance of your product, right? Number 2, there's a lot of fees. At some point, if you are making enough money on Etsy, the amount of fees you're paying might actually be more than $20, $30, $50, $100, which can pay for a monthly plan for like Shopify. And Shopify obviously gives you more flexibility for a lot of stuff like design. So at some point, the fees might actually be more expensive than the plan. But for a lot of people who are on Etsy, I'm pretty sure are beginners. So that shouldn't be much of a concern if you are a beginner. But number 3, it's not a good way to build a brand in the long run, just because you're relying on Etsy as a sort of middleman. Let's just say you don't really have a social media presence, and you're relying on Etsy as like a marketer for you, and they're getting you sales through the search. If you wanted to like start your own website, maybe actually build your brand off of Etsy, it might be hard because you're not used to marketing yourself and you're not really good at it and you have no social media following. It might also be hard to transition off of Etsy and get products onto a different website builder or something like that. So ideally what you actually want to do is you want to start your own website on a cheap platform, and then you also want to have Etsy as almost an extension of your business. It's just another place customers can get your product, and it also gives you free marketing. Because Etsy is free, there's no downside of actually having an Etsy store. That's why you'll notice that a lot of brands sell on Amazon, Walmart, Target, just different retailers. The more storefronts they're in, the better. So in your case, it's also the same thing. There's no downside to listing your stuff on like Craigslist either. There's no downside to list it on eBay or Etsy or Depop, besides your time, obviously. But ideally, that's what you want to do. You want to treat Etsy as sort of just a place that someone can get your product, not your whole brand. You don't want to have to rely on Etsy to be your whole brand. So right here, we're in the more technical side of things. We're going to show you how to set up an actual store. So first things first, you want to go to the link in the description or pinned comment, and you want to click on it. And here you can see you can open an Etsy shop and list your first 40 items for free. So this is saving you about $8, which is almost a monthly plan at one of those other services that you can use like Squarespace. So you want to press open a shop today. You want to sign up with your email. So right here, you want to select your shop language. You want to make sure this is right because you actually can't change it later on. You want to select your shop country, your shop currency. Make sure this is actually your shop currency and country because you are getting paid out in a certain dollar. So you don't want to have to be converting it back and forth. And then you want to select which one applies to you. So this would be, I sell part-time. I think this is just like a survey just to get a better grasp of like who's selling. It's not necessarily going to affect your shop. Here you can fill in the name of your shop. So I just typed in a random one. You're going to press check availability, and you can see the orange says available right here. So we should be good. And I do believe you're able to change it later on. So if you did make a mistake, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Now you actually want to create your listing. So you want to go to the top left right here, click on the plus. And because we got 40 free listings, this won't cost you a thing. So here you would add your photo. You can also add a video, which they actually recommend. The listing details, so the title, who made it, just fill in sort of what they say here. So I'm actually gonna go to my store right here, and I'm gonna save my own image just so it's faster right here. So when you go to title over here, you actually want to look at your competitors, and the reason why is the people who appear high in the search are probably doing something right, and so you want to see the different keywords they're using because there's a good chance that help them actually get to the top of the search and get sales. And you also want to see what photo they used because most likely if they're at the top of the search, a lot of people are clicking on them, meaning that they have a good like thumbnail. So for example right here, Givian poster print. So let's just say you want to sell like a poster that you made. I'm gonna just search up Givian poster, and you can see the different ones here. It might actually appear here, but let's click on the first one. You can see the background is very plain, so that might be a good indicator to leave your thumbnail really plain. They also have different images like the packaging. And so the reason I actually have gift idea, home decor, poster in mind is due to me checking out this person who has 613 sales. They're obviously doing something right. So I want to take inspiration from that and see what is working for them, right? So if you go to mine, it says Givian poster print, wall art, room decor, gift idea, right? Think about what people might be searching up, and then you want to put that in your title. But don't be too excessive because long titles look really bad, and that might actually hurt you in the long run. But yeah, I would go to the ones that are doing well and see what they're doing. So in this case, I'm just going to copy and paste my title because I've actually done research on this before. They ask who made it. You could say I did. You can say another company. If you do have a manufacturer or something like that, you want to go to category and you want to sort of like fill out everything to the max. So if you are allowed to use 12 tags, if you're allowed to fill in like multiple categories, do it to the max. The more metadata, the better for the search because Etsy is very reliant on the search. That's how people find products. You want to make sure that you fill in as much as possible, so you give Etsy the most data as possible. So in this case, I'm going to type in poster print, and you can see here shoppers will be able to find this item in all these categories. And if you're fine with that, you're going to go on to the next one. And once again, you want to select as many options as possible, obviously if it actually relates to your product. When it comes to height and weight, this is very important when it comes to shipping. I'm going to get into that as well. And then you can also set renewal options. So like I mentioned before, after 4 months, your listing actually gets renewed. So if you want to actually manually renew them, then you would just select manual. Otherwise, you'll get charged 20 cents US every 4 months. You can select if it's a physical or digital product. There's actually a lot of digital products on Etsy, so if you are into that, make sure to do some research. There are definitely products out there for you. In the description here, I'm just going to copy and paste mine. But you can see here, I sort of give a product description. I listed the different options you can get for this product. I listed the materials, what this product is used for, and also the shipping. The more information you give, the more trust the customer may have with you in buying your product, because at the end of the day, if they are finding you through search, they have to trust you somehow. And if you don't give them any reason to, they might just find another, seller. So you can also add tags. So when it comes to tags, you can list about 13. I would use them all, to be honest. So I would do poster, prints, art, core, room, decoration, just list different variations of the same thing. So if you're selling like a painting, maybe list art, painting, room decor, gift idea, just different uses for that product. Materials, you can list it there. As for the price, you would just list it here. One thing that you actually may want to do is actually include the price of shipping within this price, just because there's actually a little free shipping banner that appears next to your listing, which is actually a good thing because a lot of buyers actually prefer free shipping, right? When you see free shipping, you just think it's a cheaper and a better deal. So let's just say shipping is $5 for you and your product's $10. Instead of listing it for $10 with $5 shipping, it might be a better idea to do $15. I've seen that works better for me personally, but that's up to you. Next is variations. In my case, I have different size prints. You may have different color products. You may have different material products. So you can actually change the prices of different variations very easily. So add variation. And here you can select the different default ones, or you can create a custom one. Let's just say for mine, maybe I'm selling a certain print with maybe different materials. I can select material right here, and you can press prices vary for each material. And here you can see I added a material luster, and maybe I'm gonna add another one that's matte. And then we're gonna press save and continue here. And here you can see you can fill in a certain price. So maybe one's $15 and one's $17, right? So you can do that very easily. So you can also add personalization. So let's just say you make custom jewelry, maybe with someone's name or initial, or maybe you carve stuff, or maybe you make stickers or something like that, or custom designs in art. You can personalize it. So if you just toggle this on, you can sort of give it instructions. Maybe you just want to do a little survey here too. You could maybe you can ask the question, how did you find this product? And this way you can get input. It doesn't have to be strictly for the product. It could be just a survey or a question. I know some people ask for their buyer's Instagram so that they can post it on their story and tag their buyer. So that's a way you can do it as well. So in Canada and many different countries, Etsy actually has discounts that you can get with postal services for like shipping labels and stuff like that. So in Canada, there's Canada Post. So if you want to do the shipping labels by yourself, and maybe you have a set way that you want to deliver, and you have the prices already in mind, you can just do it manually. But otherwise, select the first option, calculate them for me. You want to type in the origin postal code. So this is going to be your postal code, so they can sort of estimate how much the postage is going to cost. Here, you want to give a processing time. So processing time is basically how long it'll take for you to get the order ready before it ships. So let's just say it takes time for you to actually wrap something and put it in a box and package it and all that sort of stuff. That's what processing time would be. Usually I would recommend like 1 to 3 days, and this way you actually have time to do stuff. Let's just say one day you're not able to get to your orders, you're still fine to fulfill the order the next day, Here you can select your delivery locations, the different services you're going to use. So if you're doing through Etsy, you can just have them all selected unless you don't want to ship to a certain country. In here, I would select free domestic delivery just because it's already in my actual listing price, like I mentioned before. The handling fee, I wouldn't put anything. And then you can save this as a delivery profile. So every time you list a new product, you can select this as the default delivery options. So you don't have to consistently do this every time you list a product. So here, I'm just gonna name this one shipping and then create the profile. So here's the item weight. you would weigh it yourself. I'm just going to put a random estimate right here. So this is a very huge package right here. You can see in Canada, because it's domestic shipping, it's $0. But if I selected a different country like USA, I'll actually show the actual price. And so you would actually print the postage through Etsy, and Etsy would fill it for you. And this way you don't actually have to fill in your own shipping labels and all that sort of stuff. Etsy does it for you, so that's also a benefit of Etsy. So here you would also fill out other details on how you can get paid. If you're just an individual who just wants to make some side money, maybe sell their art, you would just select the first option. If you are a registered business and you are incorporated, you would select the second one and fill in the details. But for most people, you're just going to be the individual. So here you would fill in your direct deposit details, and basically you'll get recurring payments on a certain date. I think every single week by Etsy if you do have sales, and that's basically how you get paid. So I actually logged into my actual store, and you can see the past 7 days. And here, if I go to recent activity, I could see all the different people who have liked my different listings. I also mentioned this before. Next are my listings. So you can actually bulk edit. You can add listings here. So if I selected all the listings, I could go to editing options and maybe add something to each of the titles. So I could go to edit title, and I could add something to the front, to the back. I could find and replace. So this is where you can sort of add your listings and edit them. Here are messages. So here's where you can do customer support and just talk to your customers if they do have a question or something like that. Order and shipping, you can see the new ones as well as completed ones. So this is a way you can keep track of your orders. If you're in Canada, this is something really beneficial. You can get discounts on shipping rates and shipping labels. So here I can press get shipping labels, right? And like I mentioned before, you can actually fulfill it through Etsy. And right here, you can see I typed in a random number. You can see right here, I got a discount of $1.81 because I signed up for Canada Post Solutions for Small Businesses. So if you actually go to the link in the description and you're in Canada, you can actually get discounts on any postage that you pay for. So just sign up. I think they give you like a number that you can input within Etsy, and then you get basically discounts on all the shipping labels. Here in stats, you can see your orders, your conversion rate, your revenue, where your traffic's actually coming from. So in this case, you can see Etsy accounted for 61% of my traffic. And then you can see 39% of my traffic came from direct and others. So this is probably through a link. And then if you go to the traffic source breakdown, you can see which links it came from. So you can see right here, a lot of them came from a link in bio, which is actually in my Instagram bio. So this way you can see what is actually working and what's not. And you can also click on Etsy search right here, and you can see your most visited listings. And you can see your most visited search terms. So if people are, for example, searching up Polo G a lot, I might want to start posting more listings about Polo G. So in your case, if you are selling like art, maybe it's like a city landscape, and maybe you're also selling a nature painting. If you see that there are more visits on nature as opposed to city, you might want to start selling more nature. So that's a way that you can actually use these statistics to help you. So here is actually the recent activities and your balance, how much they owe you. But like I mentioned before, there's fees, right? So you can see in the top right here, there's fees and tax. So you can see auto renew, that's 20 cents. But because I have free listings, it didn't actually take anything out. So you can see it took out 25 cents, but then it added back 25 cents because I have Etsy listing credit. You can see here I had a sale. They took out a fee, and then they took out another fee. This is the transaction fee, and this is the processing fee. So there's two different fees, and there's the listing fee as well. So you can see how that adds up in the long run. So you can also see how much you've paid in fees. So for this month, it's been really bad. You can see I paid 60 cents in fees, but you can see the past 3 months, for example. Let's just say I'm debating whether or not to pay for a Shopify subscription or to just stay on Etsy. I would really just look at the fees and see if it adds up to how much the Shopify plan is. That would make the most sense. So in this case, I'm obviously making more money than I'm losing, but you can also see that I have already paid $35 in fees, but $12 of that was the subscription when I was testing it out. So it's closer to like $20, but there's still $20 in fees. That really goes unnoticed, to be honest. You can go to search analytics, which I just showed you basically. This gives you a little bit more in depth. It also shows where you're ranking in the search. So once again, this would just help you identify winning products. Let's just say you have a bunch of different listings, maybe different titles. You can see which ones would work. So what I would do is maybe include a lot of these search queries in your actual title and tags, and maybe that could help you out. And you want to do something called A/B testing. And A/B testing is basically where you have the same product and you do something different to each of them test to see which one does better and go with the better performing test. So let's just say you had one product and you had two different listings. One listing had a red background and one had a blue background. You would see which one did better and stick with the better one. And then with A/B testing, you would do this multiple different times with different sort of attributes of that listing. So maybe you change the title next. Maybe if you're running ads, you'll see if a video does better than a photo, and then you'll stick with the winning result. So that's an example of what you can do. Here you can see Etsy ads. You can see I made $20.73 from my Etsy ads campaign, and I spent around $5 on ads. To be honest, this is very lucky. I've seen a lot of people not have such a good experience with Etsy ads, so I would wait out on actually spending money on Etsy ads. I would much rather look into Facebook ads because I think they're a better bang for your buck. So you can see sales coupons. There's 3 different campaigns you can run. One is abandoned cart. So let's just say someone adds your product to their cart and they don't check out. Basically, this will automatically send out emails with a discount code saying, oh, we noticed that you didn't check out. Here's a discount code if you still want to, check out and buy this product. So I just canceled it, but it's as easy as just pressing set up campaign here, setting your coupon, maybe it's 5%, and typing in a code. So code 10. So right here, code 10, review and confirm. And basically if a certain action is done, a coupon will be sent out. So here you can see recently favorited. So if someone, likes my listing and I notice that, it'll automatically send out an email with a coupon code. And also post-purchase thank you. If you want recurring customers, you have to give them an incentive to buy again. And so what you can do is give them a thank you email and with a discount code so that they may want to purchase again. I got one order with this, so that's pretty good, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't get this if these weren't turned on, right? So next is integrations. If you are an artist or you sell clothing or anything like that, you can actually integrate Etsy with print-on-demand services like Printful. I'm actually going to link this article below with different apps that you can connect within Etsy. But basically, a lot of them are like marketing tools, SEO tools, Pinterest. Here are just some. Not all the apps that are supported are actually listed here. These are the ones they recommend though. But you can actually use these tools to help you build your store. But if you do sell clothes or art, you can actually use a print-on-demand service like Printful. And basically they'll create the product for you and they'll fulfill it for you, and you literally have to do nothing. All you have to do is really sign up for Printful and connect your Etsy store. But you can see the different products they have. They have clothes, they have posters, hats, accessories. When you use a print-on-demand service, basically what happens is Printful gets the order and they make it on the spot and they ship it and fulfill it for you, and they take a cut of the profit. So a lot of times print-on-demand services are actually very low margin just because Printful and these other print-on-demand services actually have to do a lot of work. So you'll either have to take very low profit or you'll have to mark up your prices very high. But if you want to keep your store as passive as possible, this might be a really good option for you, and you can actually connect it with Etsy pretty easily. So if you go to printful.com/integration/Etsy, I'll link this in the description. You just click on connect Etsy store and then just fill in the details. And that's about it. So that's an integration that I definitely recommend. You can also use Pinterest, which is actually a major one that a lot of people use. But that's about it when it comes to just this dashboard. Now we're going to get into the marketing of things. By far the biggest way that I've seen people sort of market their Etsy products is through TikTok and Pinterest, and both are relatively easy. If you want to market on TikTok, I would just go through the hashtag of the product you're selling and see what videos appear, and just create little videos of you packaging stuff, your product, and all that sort of stuff over like popular music. If you're not really into that stuff, maybe you have a lot of product pictures and videos, you can post it on Pinterest and basically just link your Etsy. So I just started this recently. You can see I have 17.5 thousand monthly views. I didn't really do anything but post the photos of my prints. You can see here I had 4 clicks and these basically went to my Etsy store. So this is traffic that you otherwise wouldn't have. And these are actually some of my YouTube videos. So you can see like this YouTube video actually got 29 clicks. This one got 14 clicks. So these are like additional clicks and views on a product that I otherwise wouldn't get. And the way that Pinterest actually works is it's basically like a search engine but for photos. Some people like to make little mood boards or collections of them, and some people like to share them. So basically it's like a photo social media app. If you've ever heard of VSCO, it's very similar. And sometimes these may go viral just because they're in certain collections and boards and people are sharing them. So if you go and hover over mine, it goes to an Etsy listing. So in order to do this, you want to just press create. You want to press create pin. You want to drop your product photo or whatever creative you want here. just name it. So Givian poster, and here you can add it to any board you want. So these are probably going to be your own. So let's just say you are big on Pinterest, you develop a big following and people follow your boards. What you can do is just sneak your product in there and you can get a lot of organic traffic. And here is where you would put your Etsy link. So here you just right click and copy it, and then we're gonna paste it. And then you just publish it, and that's about it. So a lot of you are probably wondering if this actually works. I'm gonna try to show you an example of how this may work in your favor. So let's just search up phone case. It's a very generic thing, right? You'll see that a lot of them are linked to different stores. So this one, for example, right? You can see this person has 4.1K followers and it's linked to their website. And if you go on their profile, you can see here they get 4.3 million monthly views. So even if like 2 people out of the 4.3 million people actually check out their product, that's money that they otherwise would not get, right? And you can see they keep posting all their cases. That's all they do. They don't have any super creative things. They just post photos of their products, and they're getting 4.3 million monthly views. And here you can see they have a store, and most definitely a few people have clicked on it. So I searched up press on nails. Let's just say girls are going here for inspiration on certain designs. You can see most of these are actually linked to something. So for example, this video, this is actually just a TikTok. So you can just re-upload your TikToks. You can see it has 199 reactions. And you can see her website is linked right here. You can see she's getting 280,000 monthly views by just posting on Pinterest. And this is just TikTok she's already made. So that's an example of how you can just get free marketing. Also, TikTok obviously is a great way. If you're already making content on TikTok, you can just post it on Pinterest, and it's just very easy content to integrate. And lastly, what I'm gonna do is show you some sales tactics. So I already showed you free shipping, but I'm gonna show you one other one. So I'm gonna do my store as an example. You can see I have 50% off. It seems like a lot, right? But the thing that people don't know is that there's multiple different variations. My most expensive variation is actually $37. But what will incentivize people to actually click on this is the $6 and the fact that it's 50% off. So what you can do is if you have many variations, you can sort of hook people in with the cheapest option, because that's actually what gets displayed. So let's just say you have like 5 variations. Just make the first option very low margin. Let's just say you make even $1 profit off the cheapest option. It'll lure more people and traffic onto your listing. What you can also do is list your price higher and just have a sale. So one thing you can do is if you don't want to have a huge sale, let's just say you have a product that is $10 and you want to run a sale. What you can actually do is actually increase your listing to $11 and make it 10% off, and it'll still end up net $10. By doing this, it looks like you're having a sale and it's cheaper, but it's actually the same price. And this is what a lot of people actually do for Black Friday. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if I missed anything. And if you have any questions, make sure to comment below. This took me a long time to make. So if you enjoy videos like this, I'm definitely going to start making more of these. But yeah, my name is Steven, and I'll see you in the next one.